Hello, welcome to another episode of me yapping about some things people do not care about. Today we're talking about wine and absolutely destroying this granola bar because I'm hungry. I've had a productive day today. And despite how a lot of things have been going for the past few weeks, I feel good. At least today I do. So, before I go to work, I'm going to do my hit me up. Hit me up meaning hair and makeup, so I can get to work and not look ratty. Looks maxing today, unfortunately. Every other day I'm just kind of chilling out. But while I do this, I will also brush up on some of my wine knowledge before I come in, so I don't sound like a crazy awkward psycho. So yesterday I shed my hair, and so this looks kind of weird. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh gosh, I have most of my stuff packed up, so there's like absolutely nothing here I can use. So I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna get some sea salt spray for myself because this hair is looking a little weird. I don't know why. Hello? There we go. I'm gonna wet it with some sea salt spray. Hopefully it'll help it texture just a little bit before I go in with the curls. Okay, so I know I haven't been vlogging, I guess, or doing these lives as much as I used to. That's just because I have been just kind of like getting way too busy with the way my life has been and just studying. I've been doing fine doing that, so I just kind of stopped doing these little streams, but I will get back to it. It's just been really busy for me this past year and few months and whatnot, so bear with me. I feel like my hair is like really uneven today. I really don't like it. That's what happens when I shower and then I sleep with my hair wet, which we don't like. We don't do that, guys. You didn't hear me say that. Anyways, while we get that going, I'm going to touch up on my makeup because today I went to student center to study and take care of some stuff. Lo and behold, the fire alarm gets pulled, or something happened with the fire alarm. I don't know. I was just sitting there studying, and all of a sudden, I hear some ringing noise, and so we had to go out. And I sat in the sun doing my homework for a while, and that just wasn't the best for this face. So we're gonna touch up. And I have an hour to do this. You're like, why are you spending a whole hour towards hair makeup? I don't know. Because I have time. And I was very productive this morning, and so I deserve a little break doing something other than just, I guess, math for once. So we're just going to start off with the setting powder. Setting powder. I'm doing this like people are watching. Nobody's watching right now. But I'm just saying this so like when I'm in the future and I'm like, what did little Nini use when she was 21 for her face? Did it have zinc in it? Did it have titanium in it? Did it have lead in it? Absolutely, all three. and I'll be like, I use this and this product, and this is why I have cancer in 2 years. So there you go. There you have it. Anyways, now we're gonna go in with my very big jumbo concealer. Very, very lightly, because I already did most of what I needed to do this morning. And my lip is busted up, so that's great. We love that. We love a busted lip. I need to get out of that habit of just picking my lips. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this won't blend too crazy because I already have like a nice little layer. So doing this might be weird. When I see you around, I don't wanna talk about the weather. Okay, that looks good. That's fine, I guess. I don't like this. You see this? Bruh, I am not able to even cover that. I haven't been able to. So I'm just gonna have to like put retinol until it goes away, glycolic acid, the works, just to get this out of the way. Because I don't like it. I don't like the way it just stands out like a sore thumb. And you can have like things that like show you on the internet like to cover stuff up, but this is not. This is like crazy hyperpigmentation. There's like zero way you could cover this up. And I have like the best concealer on earth. I have 2 shades of this jumbo Tarte Shape Tape. You can't say this doesn't work because these 2 are like 140. So it's a little better. Maybe if I put like some powder, I don't know, like troubleshooting. But the troubleshooting is more like shooting for trouble than troubleshooting. It's causing me more trouble. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a little. You can barely see it now. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, since I look like a ghost, I'm gonna go back in. I'm going to blush it up. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna talk about wine. I'm gonna do that while I do my hair, because like when you're doing your hair, you're not really moving and you can't really talk about anything, or like you can't really do anything but watch like YouTube or whatever. And I usually watch YouTube, but I figured why not just prepare for work, you know? I also need to start watching more like wine videos so I can like familiarize myself with it more, because lately I've just been learning stuff from the training sessions and I've just been a little bit not overwhelmed. It's just like a lot of information to take in at once. So it's like I need to know how to prioritize which things I am taking in through informatics and learning. So a lot of priorities I need to set in regards to my future little job endeavors. So I think this matches very well. I'm trying to see if I should use this coral blush that I have, which is right here, because my dress is a little bit coral, but it's not exactly. So I'm like, what? I'm gonna use a tiny bit. See if it can just warm up my appearance just a little bit, because my pink right now is kind of like a cooler shade of pink. And I kind of want to match my flowers, but I don't. Oh my gosh, now it feels like it's too much blush. If there's anything blindness I have, it's definitely blush blindness. But the thing is the restaurant we got is dimly lit, so it's like, are you actually gonna see how much blush I have? Because people are like, oh my gosh, what blush do you use? I said I use 15. I use a cream one. I use multiple types of powders and whatnot. Oh gosh, one of these days my face is gonna fall off. Now I look sick, honestly. On camera I don't, but I think, like, if you were to see me right now, you'd be like, either you just got punched in the face, or you just came back from a workout. A really intense one. Loki, though, that's kind of what I like. That makes me psycho. It makes me psycho that I'm talking to myself on YouTube right now. I need to stop focusing on my makeup techniques and start looking at my thinking techniques. See what improvements I can make there on talking to myself. What I'm really trying to do, I'm getting really frustrated right now, is because like the shade is not matching on both my cheeks. Like this, the right one is fine, but the left one, I'm still trying to blend it out. I think it's because I have like one thing of acne, and it's just kind of messing up because I'm fixed between like stuck between trying to conceal that, but also add pink. But the pimple is pink, and I don't know, just adding pink just makes it look more shadowy. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I need to stop focusing on this and start working on my hair because I only have like 50 more minutes. So I give myself maybe like 20 more seconds. And if it doesn't work, then so be it. Okay, I think this is the best it's ever gonna get. And then I'm gonna get this white powder and cover up my acne. I don't think that's how it works. I'm supposed to put on concealer first and then do this. Whatever. Yeah, that's definitely not how it works. I don't know. I don't know, bestie. Okay, I think that's fine. And then I'm going to contour my nose just a tiny bit. Just to touch it up. One of these minutes I'm going to have to start doing my lips. Okay, let's start with the hair. So it should be dry now, hopefully. Yeah. I need to get a haircut. This is terrible. Okay. So I'm gonna start with this first piece right here, I guess. Yep. Oh, I don't like this already. I have layers, so it's not gonna work out. Maybe like if I start like right here. There you go. Okay, and while I do this, I'm going to just highlight a little bit more. Where is my... Maybe I'll just use a cream highlighter because I can't find my other highlighter. Who messaged me on my phone? Oh, it's just my reminder to my stream. I'm already there. Maybe I should update what's going on in my life. I'm working on End Overdose right now. Like the new chapter, new club, all that. Super exciting, super interesting. And I have 3 people on my team so far, and we're trying to build our little team and our club. So that'd be very interesting. I would love to be sharing that in the near future, but not right now because we're still in the little development stage. We're having I guess all of us completed our training, I hope, so far. And so tomorrow is going to be the very first meeting for that. We can learn a little bit more about what's to come and what to expect and whatnot. But the little initial stages of development are already finished. So super happy about that. Life changes, a lot of life changes. Trying to figure stuff with my school, trying to figure stuff with my job. And yeah, other than that, I'm just bumbling along, nothing to see here. Okay, maybe if I can do I want to multitask so bad, but it's like not working. Maybe I should multitask by like talking instead of just doing this. Okay, so first off, I think my lips are primed enough to start on my balm. Actually, this is taking, yeah, that was way too long. I only needed a very light curl on that, and I forget that this curler is very, very coily. And have the little English maiden curls if I don't. See, this is perfect. This is what I want. No, not that one. Can't see it. Like, there we go. That's what I want, but I've been getting like super heavy curls because I can't pay attention to my hair while I'm multitasking. It's okay. Now we start paying attention. Okay, I'm gonna try to put my lip balm on, and after that, maybe I can lock in on the wine stuff. This lip balm looks like nothing, but it's supposed to be tan, but it's giving nothing right now. But it's okay. We'd like ourselves a little natural look, right? Okay, so first off, let me get my notebook so I can start talking about this. Yap time. Ready for yap time? Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna say everything I know, like everything I wrote down. So even like the common sense parts that you might be like, you should know this by now. I do. I just want to just read it so I can understand it more and just kind of like have it fresh in my mind so I don't appear awkward. Okay, so first off, when you do a wine presentation, you bring the bottle, the glasses, and a cork rest, a napkin, and a wine opener. Specifically for this restaurant, you would do I think a Liberté glass for tasting. And then, hold on, there's like 3 glasses. I'm being stupid. Hold on. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Actually, Gabriel is the tasting. And then for Liberté, that is for our white wines mostly. And then for the Gressel crew, we do a red wine, most specifically Barolo. Barolo tastes very, very well in that glass. And especially for Barolo, you would offer a decanter, and also for other wines, but specifically, like mostly, I've been coming across a lot of Barolos that need to be decanted, and people want or specifically request for it to be decanted. So you'd also bring a decanter and like a little stand if you need to, if that table doesn't have space for it. So you just kind of put it to the side. Anyways, so you will bring, of course, the cork rest. Oh yeah, you need to bring the cork rest. So first, you're going to wipe the label, and then you're going to open the wrapper, and you take it off, and then you wipe the cork. You open the bottle, or you open the bottle, and you present the cork, and have them smell it, and then you're going to put that cork on that cork rest, and then after that, you will open the bottle and give a tasting to the person that ordered the wine, and then you will go based off of oldest lady first, all the way around, and then from the oldest gentleman first, all the way around. So that's how you do it. All the while you are mentioning the producer, vintage, and grape variety to the table, and hopefully some nice little tidbits about the wine and about the grape and about like the producers. And so yeah, oh yeah, so you're going to be holding the bottom and the neck of the bottle while you're doing that, and while you're pouring, you're presenting the label to each guest. After the pour, you will twist the bottle and wipe the neck for any drops that might drop off. Okay, so how you will taste this wine, if anybody were to ask, or if you have time to explain to the customer. So how you will taste the wine So you are supposed to be holding that glass from the stem, not the bowl or the little leg. You will be holding it from the stem once again. And then first thing you're going to do is you're going to smell it, all three parts of the nose. So you'll smell the top, the middle, and the bottom. So the top is going to bring more of the fragrant aroma, so like the light VOCs, the volatile organic compounds, such as white flowers, and you'll also get that alcohol. And then for the middle part, you'll be smelling the fruit. So it's a lot more fruitier, juicier, jammier as you get towards the bottom. And then when you reach the bottom of your nose, that's more of the heavier and more evolved scents that you're getting from that wine. So you're getting the dark chocolate, jammy, baking spice type tones. And then after you smell and you get kind of like a nice feel for the body of the wine and all of that, so you can also agitate the wine by swirling to accentuate the aromas. You can also kind of hold it to the light to see the color, the hue of the red or the white if you ordered a white. And then a good thing to do when you're tasting a wine is to kind of like rinse and familiarize your entire mouth before tasting. So you take a sip and you just kind of let it touch your whole mouth. Then you swallow, and that might be like a really overwhelming first taste. You're like, whoa, I don't really like this. Or it's like, oh, this is too much for me. So first you're gonna do that, and then you're going to take a sip, and then that should give you a better taste of what this wine is. So um, you will get a couple of hold on. You will get a couple of notes from this wine. So you're going to get some tingling. So that's going to be from the acidity. And as the wine starts getting warm, you'll get that alcohol flavor in your mouth. And you also get tannins. So tannins will basically bind to literally everything. So if you feel like there's that dry sensation in your mouth, that's why it binds to kind of like the glycerin in your mouth or something like that. Oh, the mucus in your mouth. So you have mucus that kind of like comes out when you're like salivating or whatnot and kind of like helps moisturize your mouth. So if you are drinking a wine and you feel like you're getting a dry mouth, that's because of the tannins that's in that wine. It's kind of like binding to your saliva and your mucus in your mouth, and it's kind of drying you out. And another thing, when you're swirling that wine, you can see the legs of the wine. So if it's more legs and a slow movement, that means there's more glycerin. And if there's sharp arches, then it's a low alcohol volume. And then another thing, when you're opening a bottle, especially for customers, you can tell if it's a bad bottle if it smells like old olives, paint thinner, vinegar, or nail polish. And depending on the type of the grape or like the bottle or whatnot, it could smell like either one of those. And if it smells like that, that means it's really bad. It's probably oxidized and all that. So you probably wanna check the smell, especially if you're pouring a tasting. You want to check the smell, but also like if you're opening a bottle, you can have the customer try to smell it and see if they can smell anything weird about the bottle, or if there's cork failure or anything like that. You might see pieces of cork in that wine. So you got to really be careful when you are handling wine, because a lot of things can happen, a lot of things can go wrong, and if it's wrong, then that's okay. Just get another bottle and you're going to present it the same way. All right. So I got a whole bunch of tastings. This is very sporadic. I don't know how to put this in my notebook yet, so I just have a section called personal tastings, but then I also put a lot of tastings in my like random notes section. So bear with me as I keep telling you what this tastes like. Maybe I wrote something in like two or three times, but that is a-okay, because I kind of don't care, and this is my notebook, and this is how I want to organize things. This is how I'm going to organize things, and you cannot tell me what to do. Thank you. So, first off, we're going to start off Barbera d'Alba. So, it's an acidic, low tannin wine made from Barbera, or a Barbera blend with Nebbiolo grape. So, it has a deep color, medium body, and intense flavor. It is fruit forward and smooth. This tends to be my favorite wine, especially the Brovia Barbera d'Alba. That is my favorite. out of all of our selections. And yeah, so the Barbera d'Alba Superiore, I think that one is GD Vira or something like that. It's either that or Fratelli Grosso, but that one is super good. It's aged an extra year in oak before the release. So that's the superiority part. It's smooth and less peppery than the regular and may taste oakier, and it's aromatic. And then Barbera de Asti, it is a brighter color than the Barbera d'Alba. It is a sharper acidity and it has a cherry plum kind of note to it. And it is a younger sister to Barbera d'Alba. It is aromatic. And it is, uh, oh, yeah, bright brown gold. That's just, I wrote a note for that. So, yeah, kind of like a younger sister. It's brighter, lighter, sharper. Okay. I guess it is a younger sister. That's a good way to put it. Okay, Barolo. We're gonna talk about Barolo. So it is a 100% Nebbiolo grape, and it is a wine of kings, and it is complex and powerful. It is fine, acidic, tannic, and has a full body. It has a minimum 3-year age time. It has notes of dry red fruit, tobacco. Sorry, I was gonna say Tabasco. I was like, I don't know about Tabasco notes in my wine, bestie, but you go ahead, because I don't know, like you, not for me. Y'all stay safe though. Anyways, so tobacco with hints of floral and spice notes. That's a good description. Um, the GD Vira Rivera, it has pronounced minerality, and the GD Vira Albe is traditional and more vibrant than the Rivera. So I think I prefer the Albe more than the Rivera. Might be just be the taste that I have right now because I'm quite new to wines, but I like the Albe more because it was just a lot more smoother, and the Rivera was quite complicated. But I will say the Rivera is $250 and the Albe is $90. So who is draining water next door? Anyways, so it just might be I'm very very simple and I have very inexpensive taste. Not very inexpensive. I mean it's $90, but I will say Albe is very easy to like, whereas the Rivera is a little bit more pronounced and complicated, complex. So a lot of people who are very experienced with wine, or if they're looking for more of like the little tiny details in wine that make it unique, you would want to have the Rivera. Anyways, so you know how Barolo was the wine of kings? So Baresco is kind of like Barolo's queen. So it's got ruby red notes of flowers, cherries, refined tannins, and aromatic. It is more approachable than Barolo, obviously, and it is Italy's Pinot Noir. Okay. And we're going to talk about some personal tasting. Let me see. These are like a specific. I don't like the way I categorize the way my notebook is right now, but it's okay. Anyway, so I tried a Barbera del Monferrato, and it is from Sulin. I said I don't like it. It smells like strawberry. It looks aged, more dull than the others. Okay, cool. And then I have a Chateau d'Arlay from France. It is fermented in oak in the winter, and they roll the barrels outside. I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one that Nelson gave me when I said I wanted a wine of culture, and a very interesting one at that for a white. So Chateau d'Arlay, it's a white, and he told me to try the red. I will eventually, maybe today. So they basically ferment this wine in the oak in the winter, and then they roll it out into the barrels outside. And so the wine is definitely very odorous because of the yeast, and it has an interesting flavor. It has character of yeast and soil. It is mildly acidic, caramel on the nose. Oh, it is caramel on the nose. Yeah, I remember that. Complex, white, grumpy but mineralic and healthy. So it has Chardonnay and Colombar, I guess. And yeah, that's a very interesting wine. I do remember that. And I did remember liking it. It tasted like healthy. Like I wouldn't say it tastes like funky like a lot of yeasty wines taste like, but I would say it tastes like a healthy low baby. Like it's grumpy, but it's got like a nice minerality to it. Ooh, I am getting a little bit weird. Like My voices. What would I do without my Stanley? Okay, back to the wines. So, Ruche. This is from La Cascinetta. It is floral and fragrant, like a bouquet. Oh yeah, it did smell like a bouquet. It is acidic with a local moth that grows only on the grapevine, and the producer never uses the herbicides and pesticides for this grape because of that moth, I guess. Languedoc it means language of the Oc people in France. It is grumpy, smells like a fruity fart. Somebody said mossy riverbank, and it tastes fine. I guess better than the way it smells, I guess. And then I just wrote like what a goblet is used for. Is used for Sacratino, Chianti, some select other wines belong in this class. And then Bandol is grown in sand and is like drinking a night sky. Oh, never mind. I didn't drink that, but I was told that it tasted like drinking a night sky. So one of these days I'm going to try it, and hopefully I will have time to let you know and update you on what it tastes like. Okay, cool. So NV14 cane, which is for Torino only. It is from Napa Valley and hit hard by fires 2021 and 24. Actually, I'm not gonna go through this because, yeah. Anyways, Azzolino Diletto. Oh, I literally actually tried this the other day, and I forgot that I had already tried it. It has a gold color, mushroom smell, and woody flavor. I wrote a frown face next to it because of how bad it smelled and how bad it tasted. And Jillian, if whoever works with me in the future, if you see this stream, I will stand by it that it tastes nasty. And the day that I find it delicious is the day I will stop eating vanilla ice cream, because this is nasty. It tastes like foot, it smells like foot, and you know what? If I see a duck, I hear a duck, I call it a duck because it probably is a duck. So if I see foot, I smell foot, I taste foot, it's probably made from feet and not grapes. So yeah, that's my opinion on that wine. So I stand by that. Everybody else seems to disagree with me and say I'm wrong, but maybe they like feet and I don't. Maybe it's a crime. God forbid a girl does not have really interesting niche interests, I guess. I don't know. But that's that for you. A little fun fact. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the producers. And I will hold on. And we'll move on to the producers in a little bit. I'm gonna let this curler kind of like relax for a bit while I let my hair sit. I'm gonna curl, or not curl, brush it out. And then we will get moving. I'm gonna check my phone because I had messages. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, never knew what I was missing, but I knew once we start kissing, I'll found you. Now you gone, what am I gonna do? So empty, my soul can go on. Go on without you. My rainy days ain't away when you come around me and tell me, baby, why you go so far away? Sorry, I messed that up. Go on without you. Rainy days fade away when you come around. I used to think that I wasn't fine enough, 'cause always told me I wasn't well enough. But now I'm sitting back trying to figure out how to conquer names like a chalk mouth. And it's killing me a third degree. I shot my up from a listening, but just seeing how you ain't seeing me. When I'm done, you go now and make believe. So cold. Never knew what I was crippin'. If I get to tripping, I'm right. Cold. Never knew what I was crippin'. If I get to tripping, I'm right. Okay, I'm done. Okay, phone break over. Bye. I need to start not focusing too much on my. Okay, put it down. Okay, time to go. Yep. No, actually, it's not. I have about 30 minutes, so if I can focus and pay attention, maybe I will have a lot better time. Ooh, do you see the way this is pushing out? Hell yeah! Actually, let me try that again. Hell yeah! Because the curls are good. I love that. Okay, back to business. We are going to start doing the second half, the back half, I guess. Over here. Yo, loved it. Okay, cool. We're going to curl it. Okay. Fratelli Grasso, these are two brothers. Fratelli means brothers. Grasso is their last name. So their names are Alfredo and Luigi, funny enough. And they have a personal relationship with the Marshes, meaning Nelson got married in their vineyard. So that's super cool. They don't have heirs, and they hold the philosophy that basically having a family would keep them from making good wine. So basically married to the vine. Their key grape is Nebbiolo in the Barbaresco region, and their wines include Barbaresco Valle Barbaresco Giacosa Spessa, Matinee, Barbaresco San Stunay, and Trey Sacred Blend. So yeah, and their vines are over 45 years old. Super cool. GD Vira, so their producers have visited Piedmont before. They are about to graduate to their 4th generation of wine production. So super cool. I think it meant 5th, but whatever. Excuse me. In the 50s, Barolo was just a try method, so it had a modernization in the 60s to 70s, and it brought about kind of like an anti-hero, which is GD Vira. He wanted to make a natural terroir clear wine. La Sigula is a family-oriented producers, and they make 1,800 bottles a year. Bonaparty comes out grumpy, turns into a puppy in 10 to 15 minutes, but comes alive in decanter. Casa Barcolino, we talked about this a little bit last week in our Casa Barcolino showcase. Let me see what I can come up with in my mind, and then I will correct myself in the checkup. Cool. Oh, I'm looking down. Hold on. I need to stop. So all I know about Casa Bercolino is they keep the traditional essence of winemaking and they add a personal modern touch to it, which makes the wine unique. A lot of wines are either traditional and modern and not much that are in between, but not they're not so much of an in between. They do both. So you know how there's like a 100%, there's a 0%, there's a 50%. So they're not 50%, but they're 50-50, if you get what I mean. So, and they are a pair of brothers, I believe. There's a winemaker and an engineer, and then the engineer found a way to have the wine ferment without any kind of oxygen interaction. So that is very unique about them, and they do have the smallest DOC or either DOC or DOCG in Italy, and it is about 12 acres. And their vineyard is a very high altitude, and they were able to reach this vineyard by basically chiseling about 100 steps into their mountainside. So yes, and it is solar powered. I think I already said that. And yeah, okay, hold on, let's see. So 4 generations of winemaking with philosophy of 50% old school and 50% modern innovation by organic farming. I get organic farming. Forgot about that. Wines aim to be an honest reflection of his land and personality. Wines include Nascetta, Barbera d'Alba, Nebbiolo, and Barolo. They specialize in the Langhe region. I have a piece of paper that says stuff. I shall read it out. So modern elegance added on to traditional classic structure. It is fourth generation. The whole family participates in the organic vineyard. They live in the vineyard. They have minimal intervention to showcase the grape and terroir. And it showcases a plant. Oh yeah, the bottle. Okay, I forgot about this. So each bottle showcases a plant that grows near the vineyard on each bottle to emphasize the location of where they grow their grapes. So here is my tasting of every single one of the grapes or the wines that we have from Casa Vericalina. So first we got that Langhe White wine. It is from the Nascetta grape. It has a 2021 vintage. So this 2021 vintage received a lot of rain, so the grapes struggled, but they developed a lot of character. So it is soft, elegant, bright, and has a fresh citrus to it. So I wrote a smiley face. I don't know if I actually like it. I think I liked it. Barbera d'Alba. This is a red. It is intense on the nose, yeasty, mildly acidic, and has a plum taste. It is grown with native yeast. I wrote a sad face next to this. I didn't really like this. And then the Langhe Nebbiolo. It is a classic tannic wine with acidity. It is savory and has orange spice note and rose and almond notes. I wrote a smiley face next to this one. And then we have the Barolo, which I also wrote a smiley face next to. This is made of Nebbiolo, obviously. It's rich, elegant, and slightly tart. It's got more going on than the Albi. Albi is softer, but this one has virtuous and grippy tannins. So yeah, very interesting. Something to think about. I lied about the high. Okay, hold on. Okay, so hold on. So you know how I said the step stuff and the high altitude? I lied about that. That's a different producer. I just like flipped the page and found out that I lied about that. So forget about that. It's just a 50-50. That's all that is to it. So 50-50 organic farming with the plant highlight. That's all there is to it. Everything else, forget about it. Forget about it. Okay, now we're going to talk about Borgo Moncalvo. I think that's how you say it. I think that's how you spell it, actually. I'm going to split this page and just see this Borgo Moncalvo. So this one is actually the one with the two brothers, winemaker and engineer, and their vineyard is powered by solar power. The high altitude vineyard is made accessible by 100 steps chiseled into the mountain. Their DOC is the smallest in Italy, which is 12 acres. So let's talk about their wines. I actually like this producer a lot. especially that last two ones I'm about to talk about. So first you have the Blanc de Noir. So it is a white sparkling wine. It is $100. It has apple cider notes from Alta Lenga, and the grape is Pinot Nero, and it's okay. Um, just tastes like a sparkling wine. It's not sweet. It's just a little bit a little bit more bitter of a sparkling wine. Then you have the Ellipsis Moscato Secco, which is a dry white, and I really like this one, which is very weird for me because I don't like white still wines, but whatever. So this is a very persistent dry Moscato, which is why the Ellipsis name is put to it because it's a kind of like a like a dot dot dot. It's like, ooh, what else? Like, no, what else? So that's why it's an ellipsis, because it's a very persistent taste and it kind of like keeps, it's there, type of dry Moscato. So it's floral and fragrant and pairs well with basil and surprisingly chocolate. This is a Moscato grape, and I wrote a smiley face next to it because I found it quite pleasant. The Barbera d'Asti. This is a dry red. It is more approachable to Americans. It is soft, it has a light body, and it has a strawberry little taste to it. It's got low tannins and is a Barbera grape. It makes your mouth feel fresh after drinking. So this is great with beef tallow when you need to kind of like rinse your mouth after eating the kind of super hearty beef tallow. I found it quite boring because I don't know, I just expect a little bit more from my wines, but I feel like this is a good like little introduction if you are just kind of like a nice little, like, you like American wines, you want a wine that is kind of like easy introducible, whatever. Can start with this type of wine. Now we got Dolcetto d'Asti. It is very acidic, very fruity, savory, and buttery. I did not like this because I don't really like many Dolcetto d'Astis. So yeah, that's kind of how that's how that is. I find Dolcetto d'Astis to be quite more acidic. I don't know why. I think. Let me search this up actually. Let me tell you. Is Dolcetto d'Asti more acidic than Barbera d'Asti? She did not hear if anything of what I said. Okay, let me just. Is Dolcetto d'Asti more acidic than Barbera d'Asti? Hopefully I heard what I said. This. You know what? I'm gonna type it. Is. Okay, let's see. Is it more acidic or is it less acidic? Because I'm gonna be. Oh, apparently it is less acidic. So why do I not like it? I don't know. I like Barbera more than Dolcetto. And I don't know. I didn't find Barbera that acidic, but whatever. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the Canelli Moscato. What did I tell you about this Canelli Moscato and how I fell in love with it? This is a hard launch between me and Canelli. So, a little bit about Canelli. I don't even need to read my notes on this because guess what? I wrote a smiley face next to it. This has been in my mind since yesterday. I literally, during tastings, I usually just kind of take little sips, just kind of know what I like and like kind of like get the notes and the flavors and whatnot. And then I just pour it into a discard glass because I don't need to get drunk, But when I tell you, I got a second glass of this shit. It was that good. And when I tell you it's also like only $60, that's crazy for how delicious this is. Anyways, this is it. This is literally like, think apple, think pear, think honeysuckle, and then you made it sparkling. Like, it's basically like sunshine and rainbows in a glass, and it's just amazing, honestly. Like, if you like Sprite, you'll like this one. Like, you'll like this wine. But it's not. It's better than Sprite, honestly. Like, I don't even taste like that much alcohol or any alcohol really. It is just a wonderful sparkling wine. I don't think anybody could not like it unless you just hate sweet stuff. Like you just hate sweet stuff, and you only do bitter, nasty, ugly, grumpy wines. Because this one is just life changing. Anyways, let's stop talking about it, and we will move to the Loetzelo. So this Loetzelo. So you know how we talked about that. The last one was $60. So Loetzelo was $300. No tastings, small ass bottle. But when I tell you this is a white dessert wine, and it blew my mind because I have never had a dessert wine. Okay, I never even thought about dessert wines. You think about dessert cocktails like espresso martinis, whatnot. So no, because when I tried this wine, I was like, this is so freaking delicious. It tastes like a nectar of the gods. It's giving honey. It's giving succulent. It is very, very, it's very succulent, and it just tastes like honey. It's like honey in a bottle. So if you like honey in a bottle and you would like to take a nice little dessert wine, and you like to feel what like a real sweet wine tastes like, because a lot of people like it's like, oh, a sweet red, but you know, like it's still got like some little funk to it sometimes, you know. So you want like a white wine that's just like sugar, sweet, yummy. This one. I got the one for you, babes. I'll hook you up if you have $300 to spend. That's the one. Anyways, we got 2 more pages, or 3, hopefully 2. Yes, we have 2 more pages to go, and I have about 20 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to try to finish my hair in 20 minutes. Hopefully, it will finish. I don't like the way that I'm missing 2 strands of hair. Why can I be more precise with my hair curling like I used to be when I was in high school? I was trying one too hard with my hair. Oh, now it looks like ass. Is this really how I want to live my life? Okay. Ah! I hope you did not see that. Just pretend that didn't happen. I'm just going to boop this for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It has been booped. Anyone else needs to be booped? This small strand of straight hair. I don't know why I keep missing these parts. I thought I like grabbed like good enough sectionals. But I guess we're not pros here. I guess we're not good. Okay. This is definitely a little bit too curly, but whatever. Hi, Nini. Your shift starts in 51 minutes. I know. That's why I'm trying to hurry up. Okay. Now we're gonna brush this. I know we already did, but we're just gonna still brush it again because that's how we're gonna do it. And you're gonna tell me what to do and what not to do with my hair. Thank you. Okay. Does that look better? Or do I look like a Maria? When I have like really weirdly like bulky curls, I call it like I'm giving like Maria vibes, you know, like I don't know. I don't know. You know what? At this point, it's too late. Okay. So we're gonna talk about grapes now. Oh gosh, just been yapping for so much. I want to put on a YouTube video and just like forget it all. If I finish talking about this, maybe I can watch a YouTube video before work. Okay, so when you were talking about wines, you were talking about varietals. You were talking about a group of wines coming from one grape. So varietals, you have a Nebbiolo, you could have a Barolo, for example, or you could just have a Nebbiolo wine. So yeah. And then for a variety, you were talking about different types of grapes. So varietal, different wine variety, different grapes. So in your average typical, like, let's go to Kroger, okay? We are going to pick out a Cabernet Sauvignon. You literally only have like about 10 different varietals of grapes, or varieties, sorry. in these store bought, like grocery store, typical American wines. Sorry. Sorry, I'm like trying to figure this out. I don't like this curl at all. Okay. Anyways, so you have the 10 varieties of the grape in this store. Now guess how many varieties of grape there are. So they studied Siena in Italy, right? And basically they found about 70 in or 700 types of grapes in Siena alone. And they went through Italy and they stopped at basically 100,000 varieties of grape because there's just way too much. So Piedmont in Italy has the most variety in exported wines than Spain and France combined. So you know how like these store bought wines you can make like big batches, so like 400 cases of wine. So these in Piedmont, there's only about 1,200 bottles a year that come from these producers. So yeah, in the world there's an estimated 700,000 varieties of wine. Just 100,000 or 700,000 in the world, and then 100,000 in Piedmont alone. So when we're talking about grapes, we're talking about terroir. So this basically is what goes into making wine. So like the soil, the temperature, the production, all that. And vintage just doesn't matter where irrigation is used. So basically, what vintage is what year it is, because different years have different climates and different temperatures. So when you're talking about specific years, there are specific things that you gotta know about it. So for example, 2012, 2014, 15, 16, and 22, these vintages are high alcohol and also impactful. 2017 vintage is for wine nerds, apparently. Something special about that year. I still have to read up more. 18 was a dry, hot year. Josh likes that one. 13, 17, and 20 are aromatic. 11, 13, 19, 21 are elegant. Apparently, I think 11 is an underrated wine year because people often overlook it because there was a lot of, I think, just like things that went wrong, I think, with it. Still have to read up more on that. Anyway, so vintage doesn't really matter where irrigation is used. For example, Argentinian wine, but with variety and environment, there is variety in flavor. So, like a lot of these wines that are with that irrigation, they will not vary as much as wines that are grown naturally without no types of irrigation, and you're just kind of like dependent on however that vintage has for rain and sunshine and all that. So Barbera is that grape is grown on red clay soil. It is so that red clay soil is where no other grape basically grows, and it is a nice table wine because it is a nice little pleasant taste and approachable. And then Dolcetto, it is grown on gray calcium-rich clay. As wines age, they love acidity, alcohol, and tannins, and as wines get a lot older in age, they will start losing those same elements. So DOC is a legal controlled denomination of origin. Superiore means extra percent of alcohol. Matinee means aged in oak. Memorie means a library collection. Romanized means things are added onto it. So it's not just grape. It's like they add spices and whatnot. So honey badgers eat rotten fruit, and if humans could eat like them, you could drink 19 bottles of vodka in one sitting. I think it says 14, but whatever. Lillet is a chilled light morning wine. You serve it with ice, and it has a rhubarb flavor that gives it a little bit of like a nice little uniqueness to it. So there are, if you hear the word flinty and petrol, I guess apparently it goes from Riesling and Bordeaux terminology. Grignolino. Oh, this is a specific wine. Is aromatic, light, but persistent. To pair wine, look at what the locals pair with. The Gabriel glass is a general standard. Curacao Liberté shows more character and flaws in flavor. Curacao Cru is everything in full display and it shows off the aroma. Try the dry Moscato. Moscato Seco Ellipsis. I've already tried that. It's good. And Cru good with hot wings. Oh, apparently the Moscato Seco Ellipsis in the Cru glass is good with hot wings. I need to try that. Legs is a glycerin alcohol interplay, so short story is the body of wine. Slow means lots of glycerin. Flat arches means high alcohol. Peaked arches means low alcohol. Okay, cool. There's a lot of other things I need to try. Nebulo's area surrounding Barolo. Different wine than Barolo. Tannins bind to your mucin in your mouth and causes a dry feeling. Okay, I already said that. These are just other little tidbits that I wrote that I guess already remembered. Okay, so now last thing we're going to move on to is we're going to talk about glasses because the glasses are important. So first you have the anatomy of the glass. So the foot, we'll start with the foot. So it is not a handle, it is only used to serve to a customer who will grab the stem. So if you're not going to serve to somebody who's grabbing a stem, you'll always be holding that stem. The stem is a handle, it is held as to not warm up the glass. The goal of the bowl is to pour to the break where the wine will fall back on itself. The plenum holds air and the rim is the end result of the wine. Our wine glass is Austrian style. It is made either in Italy, Slovakia, or Austria. The slope of the glass. So, for example, Liberté versus the Cru. So, stronger slope. There is a longer and defined aroma. The width of the bowl. So, the wider it hits the tongue, the more aggressively. Shows more faults and complexity. Smaller makes wines easier to drink, but shows less character and emphasizes balance and acidity. Our other glasses are made from Bormoli Rocco. So the spritz glass, the brandy snifter, trumpet, Nicanora, goblet digestif, and our shot glasses. Our coupe is made from Nude Sauvage. It is made for sparkling wine and martinis. Our Collins glass is also from Nude. It is for bar water and mixed drinks. Our rocks glass is from Weiss. Ours is double rocks. And then our Japanese rocks glass is 1.5 rocks. It is great with hibiki. Our cloche glass is French for belle and is from mint juleps. Our grappa glass looks like a snowman and is a dessert wine glass and also for rum and gin sampling. So for bottles, you either have that burgundy shape, which is the curvy shape, and the Bordeaux, which is a boxy shape. Okay, that's all I had. I'm gonna go watch a YouTube video so I can be less crazy with absolutely nothing going on with my hair right now. I'm just literally talking and I feel really bored. So thank you for joining me. I'm almost done with my hair. Look at how good it looks on this side. It's very volume-esque. And over here it looks like, I don't know, really bad. But trust me, when I get myself situated, I will be a lot better. And also I need to calm my eyelashes. But anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me yap about wine. I will see you in the next one, whenever there is a next one, whenever I have time, whenever I have the dedication to make another stream. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye.